Hey everybody, welcome back. Long time no see. So glad to be here. So I have read The Hunger Games, I've read Scythe, I have read Unwind, and those are some pretty big, like, teen dystopian books, right? But I know that there's one that I dodged and I got out of the way of. And I'm gonna be honest, I purposefully, like a little consciously, I dodged this one, but I found a couple months ago the entire set in a little free library. So today is the day. You've seen the title. This isn't a big reveal to you, but this is the time that I'm going to start the Divergent series by Veronica Roth. And so I will let you know I'm a little ways in. But going into this, I'm going in, and I went in open-minded, because, and I will also let you know that I have seen the first movie, maybe the second movie, they all kind of blended together. I have seen the first movie for sure, and I didn't like it. But I was thinking, as I went into reading this, I was like, there are so many people that have like read The Hunger Games and read like Harry Potter and Twilight and all of that have always said that the movie ruined it. So I went in thinking that, okay, maybe the book will be better. And so we'll see what I think at the end of reading this. Let's get into it. I don't know, I'm excited, I'm nervous. I hope that I like it. I hope that it isn't lower than a 3. That would be my hope. And a 3, that's so arbitrary, and just like my 3s are so different than everybody else's 3s. But I feel like I would be satisfied with this video if it's at least a 3. I think that my biggest problem with Dauntless so far is the fact that I have such a fear of heights that, like, on principle, for a lot of the things that they ask their people to do, I couldn't do because I hate heights. But you gotta be brave and not show cowardice. Is how I imagine some of these people talk. Like, actually, like, if you just, like, kind of commit and, like, you don't show cowardice, then, like, you're gonna be fine. Because, like, we're just, like, the tough ones. Crazy. I don't know. Sorry, it says they pump their fists and yell back, and you just gotta.
I'm gonna take them drugs, be right back.
I love that I'm filming, so I caught that. Oh, that's staying in the video for sure. Hi. Okay, so it's been multiple hours now. I have gotten a pretty decent weight. Hello? I've gotten a pretty decent weight in to Divergent. I will say, I feel like I'm reading this really quickly, but it also has to do with the fact that the book itself is like more small than some other books, and there's not a lot of words on the page, so it does feel really gratifying. It feels like I'm like blowing through this because of those facts. But okay, so if you have never heard of Divergent, or if you've heard of Divergent but you don't know what it is about a girl named Beatrice, and she is turning 16, and Her and her brother are in school, and the world is split up into five factions? Is it 5? Hold on. Okay, I'm... Amity? I've never tried to say this one out loud. Amity? Abnegation? Dauntless? Candor? What's the other one? Oh, Erudite? Do it. There are divergent girlies in the comments screaming at me right now. This is gonna get me hated. I'm not doing it out of hate. I'm doing it out of... I'm new. There are 5 factions in the world and you can only be one. You can only be one. And if you are more than one, you are a divergent. So when you're 16, you take a test to see what faction you belong in. And if one is brave, one is smart, one is selfless, and you can only be one. Everybody in the world is only one. Except for Beatrice. Well, not except, there's probably other divergents. I haven't gotten that far, but we find out that Beatrice is a divergent. That's the whole thing. And so she picks the faction that she's gonna be in, and there's a love interest, and oh my god, she's so tiny and she's so small. Have you guys ever seen? She's like probably smaller than this book, and it's crazy because she's just so tiny, but she's so good. But she's so tiny. So all of that is happening, and you find out that you can't tell people that you're a divergent. You can't tell people. I don't know why, but that is what I found out so far. You can only be one personality trait. All of the different factions hate each other, and there's like weird like inner working politics. I guess Beatrice, oh, by the way, she becomes really cool and gets a tattoo and changes her name to Triss because she's so cool and tiny and small. But yeah, so we're seeing her. She's not even technically like in the faction that she picked yet. You have to like go through a bunch of like tests to become in this faction that she picks. Even if you were born into it, you still aren't automatically guaranteed a spot, which feels crazy. That's crazy. Because if you don't get a faction, if you don't succeed at the faction that you're in, you become factionless, which is basically just homelessness, right? I do see all the parallels of the real world in this. But yeah, that's where I'm at so far. Did you get anything from this? I could have easily said, different girl, so small, different than the rest of the world, you can only be 5 personality traits. She maybe is 2 or 3, that's so crazy. Now she's gonna change the world because she is different. Also, any like jokes that I am making, I'm not enjoying this. I think younger me would have eaten this up. I am definitely a 31-year-old reading this book. And some of it is just like, oh my god, you are 16 years old. That's crazy. But I am having an okay time. I wish I was taller. If I was tall, my narrow build would be described as willowy instead of childish. And he might not see me as a little sister he needs to protect. I don't want to be his little sister. You're 16. You are a child. It wouldn't be seen as childish. That sentence literally made me want to put the book away for the night. That was crazy. That was the first time where I was like, this is too much. I will say though, it's page 312 that it was too much. So, hey, at least I'm still gonna read. That's not me putting it away. But I'm like, oh, god damn. They're just like in like a really scary, serious moment. Like, they're at a fucking funeral right now. And she's really thinking like, what if I was just not a little girl? Crazy.
We are looking at how to pronounce this word, as well as how to say more interesting and related words in English, so make sure to stay tuned and consider subscribing. This means having or showing great knowledge or learning. How do you go about pronouncing it? Erudite.
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 Pretty straightforward once you...
Okay, pretty straightforward. Erudite. 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 Okay. Also, I've come to the conclusion that I thought I had this much left to the book, but there's like a bunch of like all of this. This is not the book. It's only this. It's a little more, it's like 120 pages, which in this setup, what was it again? I'm not watching an ad.
Earning a bachelor's degree doesn't have to put your life on hold. Not only does WGU have a generous transfer policy, but you can
Erudite.
take coursework whenever works best for
Like
you.
iridocicritis.
After the kids go to bed,
Okay, WGU. You're not even skippable. Why is nothing happening?
Picks up the story of Moses when he's 40 years old. And by now, he is a well-known, powerful, erudite.
I was not expecting a Bible. That was crazy. Anyways, if you want zero spoilers, click away. But this line is so relatable. So they're trying to like get to the root of like their biggest fears right now. Very paraphrased, very quick explanation, but I've been attacked by crows and men with grotesque faces. I've been set on fire by a boy who almost threw me off a ledge. I have almost drowned twice, and this is what I can't cope with. This is a fear I have no solutions for. A boy I like who wants to have sex with me. That's so funny and so relatable. I finished it. It's, oh my god, it's 4:20 in the morning. I'll give my thoughts tomorrow for sure. I'm a little bit behind on YouTube, so I finished the book. Now I'm gonna fall asleep to Gavin's video, so that is the plan. I will say I can't stop thinking about the book. I will say I did end up giving it a 3.5, I think, ultimately. And I am stopping myself from reading the other two because I have a couple more books that I want to read this month. Anyways, it's almost 5 in the morning, so I'm going to go to sleep officially. But we'll have some conversations tomorrow. For you, it'll be like 2 seconds. For me, I'm going to go, shoo, me. Good morning. It's the next day. And by morning, I mean like 1 in the afternoon. Hi. Okay, so I'm gonna do my makeup and talk to you guys about Divergent. I want to just like right off the bat just say that I don't know if Divergent was necessarily good, but what I do know is that it wasn't bad. I'm not gonna come to bat for it and say that it was good, because it wasn't great. You know what? I'll say that it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. It definitely like did what it said it was going to do. It didn't pretend to be this like life-changing thing. You know what I mean? Like, it was a YA dystopia from 2012. And hey, it read like a YA dystopia from 2012. I like dystopian novels. This one definitely, like, is the weaker out of the ones that I've read, for sure. But just because it's the weakest doesn't mean that it's bad. You know, like on a list of things, there is always going to be one that is lower, you know? That's how lists work. I don't know if anybody cares, but I am using the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer in 00 BB Nude. I would love to say that this is my winter shade, but I do also think it is my summer shade as well, so. Also, Colby got this Makeup Forever HD Skin Matte Velvet Powdered Foundation. It's okay. It's not my favorite thing I've ever used, but it's okay. The characters in this world, I'm just gonna rapid fire. I'm gonna say like little baby spoilers because I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you have seen this or something of this has been spoiled for you. I don't know. This is just a crazy popular book series from a while ago. So, but okay. So my thoughts, the background characters, awful. None of them were likable. I didn't like a single one of them. And I think maybe that was the point, but I don't know. I didn't like them. And then, Triss, whatever you want to say. I think it's like unfair of me to say that she was obnoxious because she was literally 16. And I'm trying to think back to 16-year-old me going through what she went through, and like, I don't know. I don't know if I would have done anything differently. I don't know if I would have done anything better, but I do have to give her the grace that she was a child. And Veronica really did write a compelling character in the sense that I really felt like I was reading from the perspective of a teenager. So I guess that's good. But I don't know. I didn't really like her. And like, I kept forgetting that like they were so young, because I would get mad at them for making decisions, and then I was like, oh yeah, you're literally a child. But I will say something that really took me by surprise, something that genuinely shocked me, was like, there's so much like blurred consent and what's okay in like YA books with like the broody male lead, and 4 wasn't really that. He was really like the grounded character in the reality of this world, which I was not expecting, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, so my opinion of him, at least in the first book, is fairly okay, which is crazy because most of the time that's not the case. So that was a pleasant surprise that I liked the male lead. Now, the story overall, this could be a me problem, and I'm okay with it being a me problem. I just kept forgetting, and I think that's okay. I think it didn't take away from the story. And again, this is probably just a me problem. I did keep forgetting what the other factions were. Like, okay, so abnegation is selflessness, dauntless is bravery, erudite, I think is what we came up with last night, is intelligence, candor is honesty, and I have no idea what amity is. Hold on, I think it says it in the back of the book. Oh, wait! I get to take a quiz? Oh, hold the presses. This is exciting. I have one eyeshadow on. I'm gonna put my other eyeshadow on. Hold on. I know if I don't, going back and editing me is gonna be like, why didn't you at least finish your eyeshadow? All right, let's see. Okay, I got across the board a lot of different answers. But I will say, if we're counting the one I have the most of, it is 1, 2, 3. I have 3 A's. So I think that's the highest one. 3 out of 7 is A's. Oh my god, if you chose mostly A's, you're abnegation. you don't like to draw attention to yourself and are more concerned about others' contentment than your own. That's not true. And you find joy and fulfillment in making other people happier, safer, and healthier. That is true. You believe that the world would be a better place if its selfishness were not so widespread. Other people see you as somewhat difficult to get to know, but also as quiet and kind. I'm not quiet. What this was being said was abnegation is selfless, amity is peaceful. Okay. Candor is honest. Erudite is intelligence. Dauntless is brave. Okay. Hi, hello. Editing Tyler here. I took 2 clips. I like one part from one. I like one part from the other, but I can't just clip them. It doesn't work. It doesn't make sense clipping them. So this is me saying, hey, I'm not repeating myself. This is me gaslighting you. You're crazy. I'm not repeating myself here twice. And it said if you answered mostly A, your abnegation. So I don't know if that's a good thing. I will say I was like, yeah, dude, these people like have it all figured out. They want to help the poor. They want to help, you know, the community. And like, yeah, maybe in systems set up like that, there is some corruption, but ultimately they're doing good. There was a lot of like stuff happening in this book that in reading it in 2025, I was like, you know, it's fine. Everything's fine. Overall though, I will say some of my ending thoughts as I finish my eyeliner. I went into it with the mindset that like, I think that this is going to be fun. A lot of people liked it for a reason, and I think I'm going to have a fun time. The bare minimum is I'm gonna have fun, you know? And that's what happened. I don't think that this book is groundbreaking. I don't think that this book is necessarily, oh, well, I'm gonna have to deal with that once it dries. I don't think this book is groundbreaking. I don't also think that this book is as bad as it gets the rap for. I think the movie is as bad as it gets the rap for, but I don't think that the book is. Overall, okay. The characters were the main characters were more likable and less likable than I thought they were gonna be. The thing is the pages are tiny and the font is so big that I could not stop myself from flying through this. I was entertained. I wasn't wowed, but I don't think you always have to be. Like, some of my favorite movies are movies that I just enjoyed and that, like, you know, they weren't like spectacular or anything, but they were good. They entertained me. And that's what this did. This entertained me. This kept me coming back for more. I read this very quickly. And so I think that this kind of hits the like turning off your brain and just reading thing for me. And I'm not turned away from finishing the series. I am nervous if it follows the same like trilogy thing that a lot of younger books did back in the day, where the first one was really good, the middle one was okay, and then the third one it was like, I don't even want to read it at this point. But we'll see. So 3.5, and I get to put her up on the books I read this year. There are 2 missing because I did listen to 2 audiobooks, but that's so exciting to see. I'm so glad I did that. Thank you guys so much for watching this. This is a quicker reading vlog. Because I've been falling into the trap where I've been filming a lot of reading vlogs. I'll be honest, I've been filming a lot, and then there's so much content and not enough content, and then I don't know what to do with it, and I get really overwhelmed. So I thought I'd keep this short, sweet, and to the point today. And I hope you guys like it. If you guys do want to see me read, I think it's Insurgent and Allegiant, I think. One of those, something like that, close to around there. If you guys want to see me read that, I will definitely make another video for you guys just like this. But yeah, thank you guys. If you want to follow along with my reading somewhere else, I do have a StoryGraph and I have an Instagram where I post things, and you can follow along there. Let me know in the comments if you have read the Divergent series, and if you've read other like YA dystopias, like how you think it ranks alongside it. I think my next dystopia that I want to read is Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. It feels like now's the time, you know, so I think I'm gonna start this today. But if you have read any, like I said before, if you've read any YA dystopias, let me know where you think Divergent sits in that. And yeah, let me know also, if you haven't read Divergent, what your favorite dystopia is, like what your favorite dystopian novel is. Because I think that's like one of my favorite genres, and I just really know a lot of YA about it. And so if you guys have any suggestions for non-YA dystopian, I'd love to hear them in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. And especially if you've ever read this, or Divergent, I guess, but specifically this, if you've ever read this, then I love you the most. Bye guys.